What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with, well, a top 10 video, right? We haven't done one of these in a long time. How does
It's
it
been a
feel?
hot minute.
It has.
It's
It's
been a
like, oh
hot
yeah,
minute.
we
I
used
can't
to
even
do
count to
those.
10 anymore.
Well, we're going to try today. We're going to try today. So
Let's do
today
it.
we're going to be doing the top 10 XZs, monsters in the game. Now, there's a lot in the game, right? So
Yeah.
the big thing is we know that there's probably like very archetype specific ones that are just broken. But if
hmm
they don't really get played, they're not going to be on this list. So we're just going to
Yeah,
kind
pretty much.
of the ones that we see get played and try to rank them. All right. So let's start with number 10. Number 10. All right. So number 10, the Patriarch. This is one that we've seen a lot lately.
Ooh, number 18, but he lands on number 10 on the list. Yes, sir. Yeah, he was nowhere to be seen until Harvey showed up. And then all of a sudden, his effect is actually kind of amazing. But that's kind of the downside of it. It's so specific, right? Like the
Hmm.
decks that this affects is Harpies and then like maybe Blue Eyes, but keeping one Blue
Right.
Eyes, one 3K beater is just as bad as having all three.
Right. Right.
So it's a really good card for the metagame right now, but definitely the last on the list of like really good ones, just because he's so specific, like such a specific counter. And if anything ever happens to Harpies, he'll just go back to being irrelevant.
Yeah. In the chat, if you guys or in the comments, let us know. Are there future archetypes that this would be good with that we don't have yet?
Ooh,
Yeah. There
yeah.
you go. All right.
TCG boys, shout out.
Let's take a look at number 9.
Number 9.
All right, the next one on the list, Heroic Champion Excalibur. This is kind of the new hotness right now, isn't it?
Yeah, this might actually climb the list as we go on, but this guy's really good because he on summon is basically a 4,000 attack monster. So it's a very simple way for decks to get over Battle and Boxer Veil and not trigger his effect. And it's really given Onomat specifically a leg up on the metagame, and probably the reason they ended up actually becoming this tier 1 deck alongside the skill change. Downside has to be warrior monsters that you use,
Oh,
so
right.
it's not in every deck. If it was, this would be so much higher, but because it's locked to warrior monsters, gotta stick them down here at
So
number
he's
9.
kind of like the Blade Armor Ninja, I think.
Yeah,
that came
kind
out,
of like
kinda
the Blade
same.
Arbor Ninja,
Yeah,
but
okay.
way better because, he can get over Battle and Boxer.
All right, let's take a look at number 8.
Number 8.
Okay, when this card came out, I thought everybody acted like it was gonna be the new hotness. It gets used. We'll say that. Roach. I
Yeah.
mean, it can be super powerful. Then it can do nothing at all.
Yeah, it's actually
know?
kind of more relevant now than it has been because we're kind of being pushed into this synchro era by Konami, funny enough.
During the XZ's era. But
Yeah,
yes,
which is
go on.
weird. But hey, he's getting usage now instead of
Right,
before
right.
where he was getting literally zero usage. It is funny though, because on Battle Phase, I saw an Infernity player. His opponent had Roach and Bowser, and he played through all three of those and kept summoning to beat through them anyway.
Oh my God.
So Roach. Yeah, he's summoned for sure, and I think the only reason he's so high up here and he's not number 10 is we're like in that synchro era, so it's actually you're seeing a lot of play, especially on the ladder with this guy into the Stardust and all those kind of cards.
Right.
And it's really easy to make generic rank 4, so any deck that's relevant right now
Yeah,
can pretty
that's
much
probably
make them.
a common theme through a lot of these is that they're gonna be rank 4s,
Yeah, they're
right?
gonna
Just
be,
because they're
yeah,
so
pretty
easy.
much. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at number 7.
Number 7.
All right, now this one at number 7 is a little weird because it only sees use in like one deck right now, but it can be so powerful. It can be
Yeah.
the go for game card.
The only other deck besides Blue Eyes that I see this is like Witchcrafters. But I think super important what this card does is give that Blue Eyes non-targeting destruction. And it's generic, so technically any deck in the future that comes out with level 8s can make this. And this inherently gives you protection against decks like Lunalights. Gives you protection against decks that can't be destroyed very easily or even push for more destruction. Can also trigger itself or tribute itself to destroy as well. So while this probably doesn't see as much play as the other cards, he just swings the game like crazy for decks that can use him.
Yeah,
And being
non-targeting
generic is just
destruction
awesome.
in any deck is amazing.
It's really, really good. Especially,
Yeah.
it's like you can just pop anything you want. It doesn't have to be much. Just anything you want, pop it. Go for it, So
Right.
really strong.
All right, let's see what's number 6.
Number 6.
All right, so if you are a Yusenju player, you definitely know about these two cards together. We include them as a package just because nowadays you don't play one without the other because
No.
why wouldn't you? But
Yeah.
Utopia Ray. This is the win con for you Senjus right here. Well, it's one of them.
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of decks have adopted the Utopia win condition. Even Harpies have picked it up, which is funny, seeing
Right.
them play it. But yeah, basically you just pop these two. When your life points reach under 1,000, you basically win. If your opponent doesn't have any back row or hand traps or anything, you win.
Right,
You know,
right.
so it's pretty crazy, you know, especially in this meta that's very back row and hand trap oriented with Yugi D-Draw. It's very easy to see. I think I've seen more Utopia activations in the past like 2 months than I've ever seen in this game. Especially now we have Zexal Weapon that gives it for free, Destiny Draw so you can easily get monsters to summon him, and then yeah, Yosenju, that is pretty much their win condition half the time. You know, they've got all this burn and stall and hand traps and annoyance. You accidentally trigger their Utopia package and boom, they just win.
Well, it's great because with Yusenjus, you have to be careful of not triggering Destiny Draw. But then you can also trigger this, so there's like 2 life point things that you got to watch out for.
Yeah, just kill him in one shot or don't kill him at all.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's take a look at number 5.
Number 5.
All right, coming in number 5 is one of the OGs of the XZ's era in Duel Links, at least. Gaga Samurai. This with Tie That Binds. This is a win con in itself.
Yeah, this card is pretty insane, actually, especially in decks right now that have a lot of removal, like Harpies have removal, Automats have removal. You can go into a rank 4, Tie That Bind, that's lethal. He can swing twice at that point. He does also have the effect to defend your monsters, but you rarely see it, because if this guy is summoned, he's either clearing your board to a place where you can't play anymore, or he's going for game.
Right,
So
right.
it's pretty strong being able to swing twice. It's a generic level 4, and this doesn't require something like monsters or warriors like the Blade
warriors,
Armor
yeah,
Ninja
yeah.
and stuff. So any deck that can make level 4s, which is every single deck except like Blue Eyes, I think. Any deck can make this, and if you run something like Tie That Binds or any attack boost, or if you're playing Automats and they've got the Gaga Mancer to boost himself up, that ends up being lethal a lot of the times too. So he's great for lethal, he's great for clearing the board, and he's got a little bit of defense properties attached to him as well.
Yep, just a good all-around card to have in your collection.
Yeah.
All right, I can't wait to see what's coming up here because this is where we get to the, the real
Yeah,
important.
these
This is
these
where
guys
people
are
are going to start
the
getting
big
mad.
ones,
Yeah.
the big 4.
This is where people are going to start getting mad at us, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at number 4.
Number 4.
All right, coming in at number 4. This one's always weird to me because you spend so many cards just to pop one other card on the field. But Diamond Direwolf, I mean,
Diamond Direwolf. This card is absolutely insane on the ladder, and even just more insane when you get to competitive play. Because first of all, being able to pop any card in the field is such a strong. You can pop Necro Valley, Light Imprisoning Mirror, Dark Imprisoning Mirror. He's an Earth monster. Earth doesn't have a specific counter that anyone's playing right now, so that's really, really good for you. And a lot of the times, you want to use cards that when they do end up going to the graveyard, you can use them as material again. So, for example, the very first time he came into the metagame was with Magnets. Magnets wanted to get the Berserkion, so instead of having to like go straight to Berserkion, they Exceed summon, pop their Diamond Direwolf, a back row, all 3 in the graveyard. Boom! Berserkion hits the board with no back row to stop him, and then
Yeah.
you win the game essentially.
Right.
So it's pretty much taking cards that you would have spent otherwise, like Alistair the Invoker. I'm gonna fuse with him anyway. He's gonna go to the banish pile.
Right.
Let
Might
me
as
send
well
him to the
use him.
graveyard first. So it just gives you an extra additional step to useless cards that were on the field anyway, and really lets you open the board up for pushes and stuff. Again, generic, so you can play it in any deck. Generic rank 4 is really, really good, and yeah, I think he's just one of the better pickups for generic cards.
all right, let us know what you think about Diamond Direwolf in the comments below. So let's take a look. Number 3.
Number 3.
All right, coming in number 3. This is Automats right here. Without this, there's no Automats.
Yeah, pretty much. Bouncer is really good. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, but M7. What about M7?" M7 is definitely more of a push, and you can use it as utility to like bounce cards for like DD Crow and stuff like that. But let's be honest, Bowser negating a monster effect is so good, especially in decks like Automats that we already know they can OTK going second. But now, going first, they can just set up a monster that negates one of your monster effects for just free. They just negate it for nothing. So it's just really strong. The only reason it's probably not like in the top 2 is because it's a rank 6, so it's a little harder to make. You know, you're looking at Onomats, Thunder Dragons, and that's pretty much it. So any deck that can make this can also make the M7. So I just tossed Bowser on here instead of M7 because it was like, M7 is more like I'm going to push for game, where a lot of these decks already do that. Bowser just has that utility of, okay, well, I'm going first, so I can't push for game. So I'm just going to set up and kill my opponent this way and just hard grind them into the ground.
All right, this is what we're getting down to. There's 2 of them left. Can you guess what they are? Let's take a look at number
The
2.
2 best ones.
Yep, let's go.
Number 2.
All right, number 2, Abyss Dweller. Now,
Abyss Dwell.
we see this usually in, you know, people like, this is a water deck card, but no, it's not, right?
It's a generic. You can play this in
Yeah.
anything that plays level 4s. Yeah, literally turning off the graveyard is such an amazing effect in Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything that ever relates to turning off or stopping the graveyard, Necro Valley, Sealed Tombs, anything like that, even things like that Dark Magician card that stops you from banishing from the graves. There's so much good graveyard control. Just having a quick effect that you can just turn on and stop all grave effects is so strong. Lunalight Crimson Fox gets sent to the graveyard. Now, you know what? Let's just turn off her effect to reduce my attack to 0. Oh, Witchcrafters want to add cards back to their hand? I don't want them to do that, actually. Let's turn off those graveyard effects, you know? Oh, Noble Knight's trying to set up. Oh, he just popped his equip to put it in the graveyard. Ooh, that sucks. You're not getting that back, buddy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just, it hits so many things, and you will literally find it in any deck that plays level 4s, because as long as we're in a graveyard-based metagame, you'll see people play this card.
Which we've been in for like years now.
Yeah, it's we're not going back.
Like,
this is just, that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh is now. We're a graveyard-based game now.
Yep. All right, so now we're approaching number 1. I'm sure you already know what it is, but we still gotta go take a look at it as a formality. So here we go. Number 1.
Number 1.
All right, number 1, of course, Malevolent Sin.
That's right.
How could it be anything else?
How could it not? Yeah, this card's insane. Literally every deck can make it. And it not only does it push for lethal by banishing a monster, it can still attack. You know, it's not like Diamond Direwolf, it blows itself up, it's gone, or anything like that. It literally takes the monster away, and then it can attack and get stronger on top of that. It goes from 24 to 27, which is kind of get close to that dangerous territory of not being able to swing over it anymore.
Yep.
And, you know, compared to something like an M7, where M7 is level 6 or rank 6, so it's harder to make, this is rank 4, so anyone can make it.
Yep.
And it's just, oh, God, they they just pop in and lethal you. I've been lethaled so many times through Malevolent Sin, or I have gotten lethal with Malevolent Sin so many times.
This is the surrender card, because soon
The
as
surrender
you get
card,
2 level 4s on the field, and then as soon as you bring out Malevolent Sin, it's like, you know, waiting, you know, disconnection.
Oh, what's that?
error.
You have a winged Karibo set? You're gonna try and stall me? Ooh.
Right. Yeah, this is what the card that makes your opponent surrender. So I think it deserves the number 1 spot. Everybody's got it. Everybody's got a use for it, you know.
It's in every deck. Where some cards like Abyss Dweller or Gaga Samurai might get sidelined for other cards like Roach or whatever, this card always stays in the extra. It does not go away just because of the power it gives you into pushing for game. On top of that, if your opponent's playing an Exceed heavy deck, yoinking that monster takes away all their materials, so they can't even use their effects anymore.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
Very, very powerful effect.
All right, let us know what you think in the comments below. I'm sure we missed your favorite, so let us know what it is, and we'll make sure to we'll make a top 10 list of the cards that you said we missed. How about that?
There you go.
All right, so get in the Discord because it's free. The tournaments are free. The new player help is free. We're gonna get out of here and think of another top 10 list. I'm Circus. That's Rye.
Farewell, boys.
And we'll see you next time.